All right. How's it going, people? In the stream, I see almost said quad. Quad mod arcane sus poppy Gene. What's up, Gene? How's it going? How are you today? Sorry, I doubted our Demon Lord Ziggy. Ziggy's doing pretty cool. I don't know about trying to say this from Shiki. Like, he's definitely Ziggy is clearly the bad guy in this scenario. I mean, you don't start a good guy campaign by causing a bunch of robots to like break free and start not even break free, corrupt them into killing a bunch of random civilians for literally no reason. Hopefully Justice and the other, or I was going to say it's Galactica. Well, no, Justice is one of the Interstellar. The Galactica are the criminal ones. Capture Shiki soon before he harms anyone. Shiki's alright. I'm early and super straight. Well, that's good. So it's a nice early stream. I decided to. I was originally like when I did it, I was planning to start at like noon. I was like, that's too early. And then I was gonna start at like 1:30, push that back a little bit, and then I was gonna start at 2:30, but that the chapter came out, so I was like, well, I want to read that and record it, and then I just finished that. Literally just finished, set up to upload, and then rolled over to the stream. So, how are you guys doing right now? What's going on with you guys? It's 100 Years Quest chapter out. Yeah, it just came out like 45 minutes to an hour ago. It's a guy from the thumbnail from Fairy Tail. Yes, his name is Suzaku. He is a dragon-slaying swordsman. He's really cool. I really can't wait to see this dude in action. Like, he's a full dragon-slaying swordsman. Like, Urza is like Dragon Slayer in quotations when she's got her Belsarion sword, but it's not the same, obviously, as Suzaku. It just doesn't hold the same level of just general weight. I mean, like, it'd be like, I mean, I guess it'd be like calling Gray with his just the general dragon buff to be like a Dragon Slayer. It's like, not really. Urza's like teetering a little bit of an odd area, because I think if you were going to be a 4th gen Dragon Slayer with a sword, it would have to be like a sword that is permanently just infused with dragon slaying like Grima, whereas like Urza's is an enchant that temporarily does it. It's not like the sword itself. It's really just a limited supply that Wendy did. So I wouldn't really consider it to be the general same degree. Is English out? Yes. In World 29 Dragon Show saved the universe by putting Shiki down like a dog. I mean, that's only under the assumption that Shiki would just become like an uncontrolled bad guy. The new 100 Years Quest chapter. Yeah, that's out. Rackstar read Tokyo Ghoul. I read Tokyo Ghoul. I wonder if there's ever going to be a part 3. I used to be super straight, but I'm not ultra super duper mega straight like Rax. Well, that's good. I won't be as long as I get some Rax content. Well, I'm streaming. I got a video uploading, but obviously like that's not going to be out for a few hours. For now, though, I decided that I was just going to do a stream, talk to you guys. I actually decided a few days ago I was going to stream when I was like thinking about like, oh, do I want to stream on Tuesday? There's a new, it was just like thinking, of, okay, there's a new chapter. Do I want to talk? Do I want to do a stream about the new chapter while I'm uploading? Because, like, I don't know what I did, but I switched something in my stream, or my OBS, that makes it so the video format is different, and then so it'll upload way long. It'll take way longer to upload. It'll take, like, hours to upload a video. Like, I'm thinking of eventually like looking into it and figuring out like what did I do, like what did I change in the recording software that it must be recording it in a different general format that just takes longer. I don't really know. Either way, I decided that like if it was Suzaku, like I said, if it is Suzaku in the chapter, then I'm gonna end up streaming. And like this morning I woke up, I actually woke up a couple times, and then like finally I decided to just wake up and stay up around like 6:30, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hang out and then do stuff for like a half hour until the chapter comes out. Chapter came out, like first page at Suzaku. I was so happy. I was super stoked. I didn't even get to the next page. I screenshotted it and went to Twitter and I posted it up so people can be hyped up with me. Because as far as I know, everybody else has been waiting for this dude to show up and to start doing stuff. And in the first chapter that we got him in there, and he got a flex, and I thought that was so cool. Let's see. Be right back. Gotta read it. Yeah, read it. It's good stuff. Just reading Red Ranger from Another World. Is that the Is that that one where it's like the guy? It's like something about like a rejection to like a ranger squad or something. Because I have that. I have a tab open for that ranger reject. Or I haven't read it. I'm going to though. It looks interesting. I've heard good things about it. What's up, Lewis Jr.? How's it going? Suzaku seems like a chill dude. Yes, I was very happy about how very like chill he is. He wasn't like aggressive or crazy, and it further went with a theory that I had that like the Dragon Eaters aren't evil. That like Mishima's never set him up in a situation, at least as of right now, that would put them as evil. Like where they're just like going around like killing people for fun or some actual villain like setup. Like other than that, like maybe it's gonna be like one of those ones where it's like they're a bad guy group, but like they can still do whatever they want. He just doesn't feel like being a bad guy at that same degree. But I don't think so. Like, nobody in Diablos has done anything, at least as of right now, that would give them, like, a villain status. Because so far, everyone that they've attacked has gotten in their way, or in some way done something that has conflicted with what their mission is. And similar to, like, what Fairy Tail would do, if people got in the way of their mission and brought them conflict, they'd fight back against them. And he even says, like, these guys are the enemy of him and his guild. So it's like, yeah, of course they are. There's been no communication between the two parties of what's going on and trying to like figure things out. Because I feel like with Suzaku, he's a character that'd be pretty chill to like converse with, and he probably would listen if you had some good important things to say and you were making sense. But outside of that, like, none of the other ones, maybe Scoleon and Madmo, but like Kyria, Nibaru, Wraith, like, good luck trying to talk to them. And probably not Georg, to be perfectly honest, either. I want him in the Fairy Tail Guild. I'm really hoping that Diablos is revealed to be, like, actually, maybe not, like, good guys, but, like, allies, ally material, and become an ally of Fairy Tail. The only way that we could get some of these guys joining the guild is if their guild falls apart before this is all over. Like, maybe Georg's the bad guy, and they have to take him out or something. But other than that, I don't know who would fit, who would join the guild. Because so far, like, we had members that could fit right in, but Nibaru is the one right now that I'm guessing would be, that would kind of, like, slide right in pretty comfortably, and for plot reasons too. Obviously, like, his guild abandoned him. He would probably want to have some form of good relationship with, like, a different group. But I don't know if Suzaku would. I'm not against the idea. It would just depend on, like, how it works out. But like I said, I really like Suzaku. I want to see him around more. Dude is so cool. Let's see. Check out Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead. I don't know if I ever even heard of that. Wait, let me see. Wait, let me scroll up. Suzaku being a chill dude is actually pretty interesting. React to think. Now that I think about it, I don't see why the Diablo so far is evil. Yeah, they haven't done anything evil yet. Everybody that they've had beef with has gotten in their way somehow. Everybody that they've gone like they've clashed with has presented themselves essentially to them as an enemy. They haven't done anything evil. They haven't just hurt anybody for fun. And I think Mishima is having them as a misdirection for Eleftheria. I think Eleftheria is the actual bad guy. Because even in the way that their guilds are structured, like their guild hall, you have Eleftheria, you have Magic Dragon, who's like, it's got like this big dragon statue on it with like all this like magic that's so like condensed down. It looks like it's raining light onto them, or snowing light, I would say. And then Diablos is like in this dark area with like these spooky skull lanterns, and they have like this big skeletal creature on top of their guild. So it's like they seem like they would be like the big evil bad guys, but so far they haven't done anything like that. Like, they haven't done anything like that. So I'm gonna keep my theories and hopes that the members of Diablos are kept out of the way of raw bad guy, because I want them to team up with the Fairy Tail members at some point. What's up, Lovely Leech? How are you? Oh, and just because I forgot to in my last stream, but I'm gonna not even advertise. I'm just gonna post a link for anybody who isn't in the Discord yet. If they want to join the Discord, I'm gonna post it now. Just pretty much the same thing. Just conversations. I usually just chit chat, bullshit with people, post weird memes. Actually, I don't even post that many weird memes. It's mostly me appreciating other people's weird memes, but also just in general, like, some weeb conversation. You think Natsu obtain a full dragon form and demon power soon? I don't think it'd be soon. I think that's endgame. I think Suzaku 2 with Fairy Tail. I'm hoping so. I fully believe that they're gonna team up with Diablos, and then we're gonna have like Dragon Slayers from the Fairy Tail side. Doesn't have to just be Natsu and Wendy. Maybe we get Gajil in there. Maybe we get Laxus in there. Maybe Sting and Ro could show up. But like train with Diablos and just have like some Dragon Slayer content, and then maybe we have like some chapter info that just goes about like the differences between the different generations with more information. As well as, like, we could get something on maybe hybrid modes, and we could just get a Dragon Slayer info chapter. I'd be super happy about that. Sad lost little girl, stayed with Xeno. The little girl is definitely interesting. I want to know what's up with her. New chapter? Yeah, the new chapter's up. Suzaku is giving me Orochimaru Hisoka vibes. I don't know about that. Like, he doesn't seem creepy like they do. Hisoka and Orochimaru were obviously creepy-ass bad guys. They were super sus. And Suzaku hasn't done anything like that. Like, if anything, he's the opposite. He's been very polite. He's been very kind. And just, like, he's just conversed with them so far, like, in a very level-headed, stable manner. And hasn't given off any of those creepy things. Any of those creepy vibes. Do you think Ferris will join Team Natsu after Selene arc ends? Stay with the group? I don't think so. Like, anybody joining the guild, like, joining Fairy Tail is one thing, but, like, I would be super surprised if Ferris became a member of the main cast. Like, legitimately, I would be... I'd be astonished if any of these characters joined, like, a main cast, like, set. Because, like, we haven't had a character join the main cast since Wendy. And Wendy and Carla, like, joining the main cast was not something that I feel a lot of people predicted. Like, even, like, obviously back at the time, like, there wasn't as much, like, theory videos and, like, people talking about it at like, the same degree. But even if I was reading Fairy Tail at the time of it was being released at the, you could rewind time. Fairy Tail is just now in the Racion Sace arc. I'm still doing YouTube and stuff. I could predict her joining the guild, like just in the general idea of like, oh, she might join the guild at some point, maybe, because obviously we didn't know the secret about Cat Shelter and stuff, about Cage Shelter. But like her becoming a member of the main cast surprised me, and it would be really very like surprising if it was Ferris too. I don't know what she would really provide to the main cats, though, is a problem. Like, she has the whiteout ability, but, like, I feel like that's too good just to have around. Suzaku hype is for sure. Kiri's eels tortured, mind-controlled Urza. The thing is, though, that, like, Urza and the members of the main cast got in their way, and to them, they're enemies. If like, Fairy Tail and Diablos just, like, before those fights just sat and, like, discussed, like, if you didn't have two hot-headed groups clashing, it probably would have ended with, like, sensible discussion. But obviously, like, you have two dragon slaying groups, for the most part. Obviously, like, if you count Natsu and Wendy, that's, like, two. And then if you want to count, like, everybody else buffed with dragon slaying magic, maybe counts as one, like, collectively. But either way, them... like, just their groups were bound to clash. Like, they're not two groups that were going to sit and chit-chat with each other and talk things out. So, to them, they were enemies. Like, granted, Kiria is definitely a little bit more graphic than, you know, what Urza would do. Urza would beat her opponents and then just call it good. She's not gonna abduct them and turn them into some weird freaking BDSM, like, play toy thing that she was doing. But that's just Kiria being weird. Let's just go with that. Because she wasn't evil. Because, like, she could have, during that hypnosis state, like, stabbed Urza or done way worse. She could have done way worse. But at the end of the day, it was kept tame enough that I definitely wouldn't say evil. Even with the stuff she did, I wouldn't call her evil. And just kind of like, hey, you have some issues. Like, I'd say, like, curious, you need to talk to somebody. You got some jumblings going on in your head that you need to have looked over. Who cares about little girl and Laguna? I do think Laguna is going to betray them, but, like, I definitely care about the little girl, but, like, only to the degree of, like, Obviously, like, I don't want to see a little girl in any of the series. Something bad happened to her. But I'm curious of what Mishima has planned for her, because, like, I don't know. I don't really see her just being some random girl you decide to throw in. Like, I fully believe that she has some form of larger scale relevance. Like, even if it just amounts to, like, she becomes the caretaker of Xenolith's robot body. And maybe she, like, I mentioned in my review, maybe she becomes a mechanic, and then she ends up, like, rebuilding Forestra and like, its people and stuff. So, like, being, like, in a good status again. Kiri definitely joining the guild. Again, like, any of them joining the guild is one thing. Like, I could see that, like, something would have to happen to Diablos, obviously, for that to happen, though. So they kind of like how Sting and Rogue were at the Grand Magic Games, where they weren't just evil. I mean, no, because, like, they had, like, a whole power mindset kind of in their heads. The thing about Diablos is it's just from a different perspective. It's not like Fairy Tail is doing, like, a bunch of evil stuff, or they're doing a bunch of evil stuff. They have these two sides clashing. These guys are continuously getting in their way and causing them problems, so clearly they're going to see them as an enemy. If we had no context to Diablos, zero context to them, we didn't even know they were dragon slayers or anything, and we just kept running into them, and they were getting in the way, causing problems, we just think the same thing. Like, who are these guys? Get them out of here. Because, like, especially if you're looking at it from the Fairy Tail members' perspective, they just keep running these guys that are causing them problems, getting in the way of their quest, and just all around muddying up their plans. And that's the same way that Diablo sees Fairy Tail. So it makes sense of why they're opponents. And with Kyria, though, that's just a personality trait she has, being as a weirdo. Do you believe Alistair is the final boss? I don't know if he's going to be the final boss, but I think he's going to be somewhere involved in, like, the final portions. Like, if he's part of the road, maybe, that gets to the final boss. How many chapters is this one? Having in. I'm at 57 to start reading. It's at 77. Have you already started making matchups between Zero Crew members in the oceans? I mean, for the most part, they've been pretty set. Like, you're probably going to have Lyra against, like, Rebecca. You're probably going to have Callum against either Wise or Jin. Shiki obviously is going to fight Shura. The one that also might fight Jin, maybe himself, is was it Nisei or Nasei, the guy who messes with memories and stuff? But we'll see. It's definitely up there. I actually would really like the atomization guy, the dude with atomic powers, against Wise, and then, you know, a memory person up against Jin itself, because I think that would be a really cool fight with, obviously, like, ties to their backstory and stuff we've learned in the plot. Black Clover episode 167 greater than Jujutsu Kaisen 19. I agree. Like, legitimately, that Black Clover episode was insane. I was super hyped about that. And I don't think I've seen, like, an episode go that hype, like, the whole time. Like, it was wild. Like, and it wasn't, like, and it wasn't seasonal, too. It's a weekly. So I was super happy about what they did. I was super excited to see just some of the weird animation stuff they were trying out. But also, I was very, very, very hyped, just in general, to see extra content to the fight. I always am happy when the animation people add a couple chunks extra to a fight in the anime to beef it up and just make it a little bit more juicy. It's really cool, obviously, when you get to see fight animated regardless, but if it's like one for one, I don't know. I think it should be one for one with, like, some DLC in it. Like, I don't want them to change stuff in a different manner, like, oh, we didn't like how this was in the manga, we're gonna do it differently in the anime. I don't like that, but I always am really excited if they add, like, just like an extra scene, even if it's just like an extra minute or two into the fight. That's always just a lot of general fun. So obviously I was very stoked for the Black Clover episode. Raxon Scullion is a maker wizard like Ray. I mean, he's got, like, his own style, but, like, somewhat. I don't even know if I'd call him a maker wizard, because he's not using Ash Make. He's using Corpse Dragon Slaying magic. What manga is this? This is from Fairy Tail. This is a guy named Suzaku. It was really nice to see Wizard and Clowny. I really like Clown. I think his design is really sick. Hassan Muhammad, what's up? How's it going? Manga is this? This is Fairy Tail 100 years ago. Oh, somebody already got him. Rax here is doing really well with the yokai's designs in this arc. Well, the yokai, the yokai are all designed like after actual yokai, but I mean just in general, like the way that they've had them probably depicted closer to the originals. Yeah, I like them. I really want to see what her top yokai is. That to me though for Yoko is definitely one of the things just in the back burner. Like I want to see her moves in general, but I really want to see what her top yokai is. What's up, Telly? How's it going, man? I think Arnold's related to someone important. We'll meet later in the series. I don't think she's gonna be related to somebody important, but I feel like she's got a role in the story we don't really know about. It doesn't have to be huge, but I'm hoping she just has something of significance. Like I said, if she just becomes somebody who keeps Xenolith's robot body just built and kind of like kept up with the works and repaired and stuff, that to me is already pretty good of this character that just came out of nowhere. That's Atsuo art at least. Olo Ueda. I'm really curious. So in volume 5, I want to say, there's a panel of in the manga, like the official release of the actual volumes themselves. Mishima redrew a panel of Laxus, and I'm so curious as to like what panels he chooses to redraws, because it wasn't like some like very specific like big double spread. It was just like a panel of Laxus, and I'd be so curious as to what other ones already in there that I haven't noticed. I have to go back and look at some of the paperback volumes and compare them. Obviously, it's just like some of them are very obvious, like of general comparison. But I would love to see him draw Suzaku at least once. I want to see Suzaku in like Mishima style. I mean, granted, it's not going to be that much different, but it'll have that Mishima crisp that I'll be super hyped for. Kiria and Sister probably get along. I don't know. I feel like Kiria's a little bit too far for Sister. I feel like she'd be like, yeah, you need to tone it down a little bit. But I don't know. A little bit, probably not too far off, but she might just try and be like, you might want to seek some counseling. Mishima shouldn't have the X-rated stuff from the... Wait, what? He shouldn't have skipped it? Oh, no, we don't need to see too much. Mishima's pretty solid with fan service. We don't know you need to go too crazy. Wendy empowered Natsu. This is going to be badass. I can't wait to see how that's going to go in general. Happy spring break. Is it spring break? I don't even remember. I thought it was later in the month. I thought it was next week. I'm just trying to like go back and think of like when I would go on spring break in school. Is it March? Again, like I don't even remember. It's been so long. Because that's one of the only things that hasn't carried over. Like for me, all my jobs have had like a similar Christmas break where you just have those like 10 to like 14 days off. And then like some holidays, but spring break is the one that gets brushed off the most because you can tell in the summer. It's a little different in the summer. Like people, you're gonna run into people that have that end up taking vacation, so you don't see them, and so at least has that kind of aspect to it. Or you save up your vacation days, you can take some off. But like, I don't remember the last time I even really thought about spring break. Sister X Rebecca. I don't know if that shit's gonna happen. I know this isn't Suzaku related, but I'm really interested in if Lucy's mindset will change now that she's made the generalization that she's weak. I really want to see, from Lucy's standpoint, I want to see like her experiment with her magic. I really want to see the characters just when they find out whatever their advanced traits are in Elantir. I want to see them just work with it and tinker and just do some experimentation with their magic and find out the extents of what they can do now and how they can perform. And Lucy's obviously one of them that I think she's gonna be very important in this arc, and just general like utility of how Lucy is going to operate in the fight with Selene and stuff. But how she's going to do it is obviously like the bigger question of like where she goes later on. But I don't know. It's like a big question for me, but at the same time, it's one of those ones I know is so far in the back burner that I haven't really put too much thought into it. Like, I have my ideas for what she's going to do. It really just depends on, like, when we get to some of the bigger stuff that I can start getting, like, deeper into it. Do you reckon Eden Zero, future Eden Zero fights with the crew members remembering Xeno's training for us, rather than chapters of him training them?
I don't think we're gonna get like deep flashback chapters. Like I could see a flashback page or two, but I don't really see Mishima being one of those. Mishima's not one of those ones that were even in general. Like I was gonna say, he doesn't seem like one, but no, he's not. He's not one of those ones that takes a long time on training stuff. Like he'll reference that characters are trained and whatnot, but he's not gonna like spend multiple chapters just training and just sitting around and looking over stuff. Whereas with these, I can just see like a page or two of them like thinking back of like what they've accomplished and what they're gonna do now. Maybe he's going to teach the little girl Satan gravity. Probably not Satan gravity, but something. Plus, we know that they have to be compatible. Lord Hendrickson, I will not humor your weird sus posts. Don't know how to text me. Does anyone think that little girl's actually Jordan's crew? I thought she was, because I was like, well, why is Mishima making this random little girl important? But it who knows exactly where it's going to pan out to, but she's a big question mark as of right now. And just because we're at 27 people in here, I'd really appreciate if you thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to post the Discord link one more time for anybody who isn't in the Discord if they want to come hang out, chit-chat. I try and be in there in a fair good amount. But other than that, I really appreciate anyone who hasn't yet to join and come chit-chat and do just some weeb stuff and whatever. And any donations are appreciated. They're not required. You want to throw $1 my way? Any amount is like I said, very appreciated. But anyway, literally Suzaku eyelashes is my new religion. He's got them big ass eyelashes too. Like these are like Yu-Gi-Oh thickness, and they're all off on the side. I wonder what it is about that. Like it would probably look really strange in reality, but like because for the most part, his design isn't that like. He, outside of his eyelashes, he doesn't have one of those animated designs that would look really weird in real life. He, for the most part, just wears, like, some pretty normal-ish. Not, like, normal clothes, but, like, the style it is, like, the Japanese robing and stuff. Like, his earrings are probably the weirdest thing besides his eyelashes. His sword, though, I can't wait to see that thing used more. Oh, the little girl gets her own manga. That actually been pretty funny. She'll be the main character in Mishima's next thing. She'll get sucked into a different dimension and then like become an isekai main character. The Ziggy transformation was pretty sick. I'm wondering like how many more upgrades he's gonna have. Suzaku's probably the strongest dragon slayer we haven't seen. Oh no, because Aknologi existed. Out of Diablos, yeah, for sure. On to this chapter, I thought Suzaku was a female. No, dude, he's all fella. He's a dude and a super badass looking dude. Are you reading DC Infinite Frontier? No. I wanted to check out some more DC stuff, but I really didn't like what they did with Static Shock, and that just turned me away because I was gonna read that. The looking power system makes no sense. Why are purple and orange counters? I mean, they're just colors. I don't think that it has to have like a for sure way of. Oh, water to fire, and like I don't know what like the opposite of certain other ones would be. Like if you had, I don't know, healing to corrosion or something. It's just this a color setup. Who cares? The power system is pretty good. I like it. It's very easy to understand, but it has like a very clear, large variety of just general usage. So. Just putting that in there as well. Like, go check out Build King if you haven't. They just put out their power system, like, in a good chunk more detail. And I really like what they did. I was very happy with what Shinbaku's got going on with the whole, the color wheel of different styles that Vigor can kind of open up into. As well as just, how each of their powers work. So I thought it was really cool that the way offensively they work is the opposite of however they buff stuff. Like, if you have a vigor that makes something heat resistance, you can use that vigor to burn things, as like if you use an attack. I thought that was just really cool in general. What's up, Shumudel's cousin? How are you doing? Any Build King predictions / Jujutsu Kaisen predictions? I mean, Build King right now is just in a weird spot because there isn't enough to kind of, like, guess certain events and, like, pieces moving. Like, the only thing in the next chapter is there's going to be some bad guys on their way. Maybe we'll get back to them building the bridges. I'm kind of hoping that they'll Like, if these guys don't break in now, then we're going to get back to building the bridges, and it won't be until probably after the third round. And I'm really hoping the third round is like, oh, we're going to drop a big monster in front of you, and you have to fight this big monster. Or something like that, but something more action-orientated. Not to act like you're stronger than them. I definitely think that Natsu Dragon Force is stronger than Suzaku. I'd be really surprised if he was... Like, if Suzaku was stronger. But as of right now, I definitely say Natsu. It is the superior Dragon Slayer between the two of them. See about Gray turn. Wait, Gray having Naruto powers, but he has ice armor, just creates Blizzard. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like, in just general? I mean, Gray doesn't... It's not that he's not going to need armor. I want to see his devil form progress. I want to see, like, a horn and some, like, icicles and stuff. Who do you think Suzaku will fight against? The obvious one that people say is Urza, but I'm really hoping that Sting and Rogue get pulled into Ellen tier. Like, Celine can bring any character into this at any point she wants. I'm hoping Sting and Rogue get pulled in, and then we have Sting and a Rogue versus Suzaku. Like, that's obviously, like, a big thing. Or Laxus. I would take Laxus as well. Because Laxus, like, assuming the red... I assume the red lightning would get eaten by him, because it's a red thing. And for some reason, the Dragon Slayers that have a color, like, it's... Because Sting's is white dragon... He's a white Dragon Slayer. But, like, his magic is... Like, his Dragon Light is both... Has light aspect and has a holy aspect. It has two different kind of variation... Well, two different... attributes, you know, combined into what his is. And he could also eat, for some reason, white things. Like, he ate that arrow when he first was introduced, and even sells Larcade that he can just eat things that are white. So Suzaku should be able to eat Lactus's red lightning. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't be able to. Like, those are my two, for me at least. Like, Urza's the obvious one, but I feel like either Laxus or, like, Sting/Rogue. And... as I talked about this, I don't know if I did on stream the other day, like, Sting and Rogue in the last year have to have practiced their white Shadow Dragon form that, like, Sting got. Like, if they show back up, and either they don't mention they've been practicing it, or they have it mastered, to where they can both just go into this state, or at least one of them, I'm going to be really annoyed. Because... they absolutely should be training it. Because Sting and Rogue, we know that they do stuff together all the time. So it'd be really weird if they didn't talk about this dual element Dragon Force form they used to defeat Larcade. Like, that has to come up in conversation. And obviously they have to train for it. If Lucy becomes a Celestial Dragon Slayer, I don't want her to be a Dragon Slayer. Like, I'm hoping if anybody becomes a Dragon Slayer that wasn't prior, it's Jalal. Because Lucy still has, like, a big... array of abilities still on the way. We just got into her Stardress mix. Like, she needs to advance more in her Celestial Spirit magic than give her a completely brand new magic. Because if she gets Celestial Dragon Slaying magic, then she's just gonna stay on that. That's gonna be her go-to, I would imagine, in any serious situation. So I think it's gonna be better if it's gonna be Jalal. I feel more convinced that Ziggy's possessed. I think that he's, like, his programming was, like, altered or corrupted when we saw the nicer version of him, and I think this more evil version is, like, the actual Ziggy. Maybe the Ocean's member won't be evil. I mean, well, they're not evil. Like, the only one that so far has been, like, evil is Shura. Like, the other ones are just, like, high-ranking people in their military. Suzaku hype? 100%. 100%. I'm super hyped about Suzaku. I love how he showed his power with one shot like he did in this chapter. Yeah, you don't even see his sword come out. You just see barely the blade. Like, Lucy doesn't need to be the strongest girl, Urza, or the smartest, Levy, or the most useful, Wendy. Lucy is the most lucky, and I would say she's the most clever. Suzaku will just not fight Fairy till this arc. It'd be a nice change. No way he's gonna fight. There's no way he doesn't see some of these guys in battle. Like, especially because, like, Diablos and Fairy Tail they're two guilds that are very quick to clash and to, like, they're two sides, like Dragon Slayers especially. Like, they will want to solve things through combat, at least in how they size each other up. Like, if they fought and then had a skirmish and then started talking, I could see that happening. But I don't really see them just kind of meeting up and just having a conversation with each other. There's going to be some punches thrown at some point. What's unique story potential do you see happening from Chopo and Zero? I don't really see anything happen from that character. She's just like a gag character. Maybe just like some funny stuff with Moskoy, but I don't really see anything else that crazy. It's March? Yes, it is March. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Dragon Ball FighterZ is OP. I'm glad. Gogeta should be the strongest character in all of Dragon Ball. He's the coolest. He's their perfect top tier. Yokai or Kano Yokai Natsu would have clapped great. I would have loved to see what he would do. He'd just stand there. Lovely Lichi. Wait, think would fight. Oh, that's not me. It's Dragon Source. Yeah, dude, he's badass. I can't wait to see more of him. Confirm that Ziggy's originally evil. Just lost his mind. I don't think that I don't think that it was that he originally originally was good. Wait, what? It's cool to see. It's confirmed that Ziggy. Oh, okay, he was originally, because that's what I think too. I think he originally was bad. He either in his programming or he said his memories got messed up. That he became the nicer version, and then he knew that at some point his programming would fix itself, and he would go back to this Ziggy. It's just my guess. What do you want to happen in the next Avatar saga? I'm hoping they retcon Legend of Korra, and they have the Red Lotus versus the original main cast, because I always like the Red Lotus is such a perfect enemy for them. You have like just looking at like some, I can't remember the guy's name, the lava bending dude. He is a perfect opponent for Toph. You have Toph, the greatest earthbender ever. She invented metal bending. You have this guy with like a unique style of bending as well, and obviously lava is gonna beat metal and just general rock. So we would have to see like her really push herself in order to overcome him. And then like Aang versus Zahir, like battle of ideologies. You have Zahir who's was able to achieve the highest state in airbending, something that we know like by how Aang was, he could never achieve. It would have been so nice. Grand Magic Games. Wait, if in the Grand Magic Game work, what happened if future Lucifer's replaced with Nashi? Until that happens for a few. Wait, I don't really know. What do you think would happen? Wait, how would Nalu have reacted? Wait, what? Let me read this again. Oh, if you just instead of future Lucy, it's just Nashi. Like if future Rogue killed her, Natsu would probably be angrier. Like on top of that, you're killing a little kid. He'd be furious. Dante may have lost his fight, but in fact, Yami... Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, they only won because of Asta and Yami are such a bad matchup for him in their combinational moves. Like, obviously, if you take Asta out or Yami out, and it's either of them by themselves, they can't win. Gotta force Quan Credible to show up. Quan is... I actually don't know what Quan's doing. Can't believe they killed my boy Static. They really did Static's backstory dirty in this new one. I hated that. It's weird that we've never seen a future version of Erzen Jalal's child. Oh, we haven't had a spot for him yet, because with the Edelus groups, like they clearly hooked up not that long after like the cast separated in Edelus, whereas like clearly Jalal, like that Mystigun is still unmarried, and Elsie Nightwalker is just doing her thing, trying to get herself some, but she's doing it through aggressive maid tactics. Alternate feature, Serious Shiki, do you think he's going to pull an Eren Yeager in terms of being ruthless? I don't think so. I don't see Shiki being cold-blooded. Like, I can see Shiki being a bit aggressive towards enemies, but I don't see him just instantly, like, setting someone up to die if they, if they just get on his nerves. Because for Shiki to kill somebody, I would guess it would require... way more of personal like backing for him to be that aggressive. Because I think he will, like at his core, be quicker to get darker than Natsu or Haru, but I don't think it's gonna be like as like right to killing as like Eren got. Like he just said, oh well, just murder him, shoot him, who cares? What's your predictions for the next Black Clover chapter? I just want to see some stuff with these two devils. Like, I don't even know if I have any, like, outright predictions. I just want to see these guys do stuff. Like, really, I want to see them do stuff. It's really been bugging me, but does the guild in Earthland, like, not give two fucks that Natsu and others just disappeared? Are they trying to figure out... I mean, what can they do? What could they possibly do about it? They have no idea. They probably just assume it's part of the 100 Years quest. Let's see. I wish Hero. I wish, but Hero won't give the dark. Won't go that dark with Shiki. I don't think he would do that dark with one of his main characters, unless it's like a rage form or something. But just like I don't think that he's the kind of guy that would want to do that, of having a main character like that. Like Aaron's a little bit too. I don't know. Aaron gets a little bit too aggressive with his setup. Like I feel like he should calm down sometimes. You're going right to the end goals or like end schemes before even trying out the ones before that, man. Yeah, settle yourself. Sad that Crunchyroll. If Crunchyroll doesn't nominate this episode, dude, that it'll be such a poster example of their bias. Oh, Magna will do something at some point, Hendrickson. Like it's just waiting. Like the problem with the overall structure of it is like Tabata keeps raising up for Lux. So it's like, what is he gonna possibly do with Magna? And if Magna doesn't come back and perform like a monster, it's gonna be so disappointing at this point. Like I don't need him to come back and be like, oh, he's upper captain level or something. I just want to see him come back and be cool. Be cool. Like I just want him to be a badass. Like if he comes back and like it's like I said, he's got magic guns that like he can shoot fireballs. And instead of it just being a raw, like, he's beating some big, absurd, powerful opponents, if, like, you had something kind of like when Rufus used his Night of Night of Falling Stars, if we just see Magna, he's up on some tower, he's got 2 guns out. Like, so, just imagine two 6-shooters, he's got 2 revolvers, and you just see him looking around, and then just a bunch of shots, and you see all these devils just start dropping, and, like, just little fireballs exploding, blowing him up. That would, to me... that would be enough to kind of build his hype up. Like, he doesn't have to be, delivering the final blow on a devil or anything. I just want to see him come back and get the love and justice that that Magna deserves after being clearly set up for a little bit of embarrassment in the flashback and then just been sitting out forever. I don't really know otherwise what Tabata's going to do with him. Lucy has to be declared an S-class or to be the end of the show, even though she can't be in any of them on Team Natsu. Well, she's not a offensive fighting character. Like Lucy can fight, but like her bigger skills are in her utility and like how intelligent she is. Of course she can't fight the other 4 members of the main cast. You have 2 Dragon Slayers, a Devil Slayer, and a Combat Knight. Like she has not the raw offense or the durability to handle these guys. She's got like the raw magic and the skill to do something, but she doesn't have like the stats needed to take them down or any of the abilities that would really be required in order to actually do anything against them aggressively. Suzaku's not taking Celine seriously. Yeah, that's one of the things I was like, Suzaku needs to be careful because he's clearly strong, but Celine is a monster. Like, on top of Celine's just general abilities, like, she stopped an attack from Natsu with one hand without even trying. So, like, Suzaku he really needs to be careful when he gets up to Mount Black Moon. He really needs to be careful. Disney will now own your channel. I hope not. True Magic is awesome, but I hope it doesn't last. It doesn't last long without proper training. Oh, the ultimate magic? I mean, we already know how it works, though. Suzaku is not taking Celine seriously. Oh, I read this one. What do you think is more satisfying, Noelle getting payback on Vonica or Yuno getting payback on Xenon? Vonica. Like, Yuno's was... If Yuno's was longer, then that'd be one thing, but, like... With Noelle rolling in, like, she had much more of a... I think, personally, she had much more of, like, an emotional scene when it came to hers. Whereas, like, with the Golden Dawn was unfortunate, but I didn't really have as much, obviously, investment in them as I did with Laurel Petrica. And I think that, like, just how Noelle handled herself in her fight was so much better than what Yuno did. And obviously, 2 different scenarios, because what we saw from Xenon is at that point, he's decided he was just going to kill him. Whereas Vonica was playing. But I do think that, like, just generally Noelle held herself way better. Do you think Laxus will develop White Lightning? I don't know. Like, I've never thought too much about Laxus developing other kinds of lightning. But I'm for it. I would really like instead if he... Well, I was going to say just became, like, just progressive Dragon Slaying magic. But I guess he would need to have other types of just general
lightning. He could probably learn a couple more styles, like a couple more different developments. Because that would make sense if it would spark in your brain if you suddenly had this red lightning just happen, and then he himself said he was going to work on it, and obviously he did. But like, you'd think that would spark in his brain, like, oh, well, what if I tried to make other lightnings? He doesn't have to. Like, I don't expect him to have like 10 different lightnings. But maybe if he just, like, uses that maybe in a way to try and evolve his normal Dragon Lightning into something brand new. White Lightning would be cool, though. He just becomes a Blue Eyes White Dragon and just starts, just shooting attacks everywhere. Magna's Furfar. The thing is, like, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Tabata likes Magna, and I personally believe that he's setting Magna up to come in with something special. It's just the waiting game for that. I'm really hoping for something from Magna, because I do like Magna. Just because he's not that powerful, I don't know why people got to rag on him as much. Like, he's a good character. He just, unfortunately for him, he's a peasant who's not one of those peasants that just has an irregular amount of mana, or has something like Asta, where he's got his main character power with anti-magic. Magna is just a dude. He doesn't have anything fancy in his backstory. He hasn't done anything that really puts him in a position that would elevate him to one of these higher statuses. Because all these other characters are arcane or prodigies, or they got something special about them in some way, shape, or form, except for Magna. Like, even Gordon's got this stuff with his family's ties to Magicula. Clearly, he's learning about curses. His poison is very hacks. Like, we need something for him. Who do you among the Dragoners would you want to fight Guildarts? Oh, Georg. Georg's the only guy that I can see, at least at the moment, fighting Guildarts. Like, just some big, heavy-hitting, buff meathead old guy, drinking steaks. Let's see. I need Rogue to have future Rogue's White Shadow Dragon form. I'm hoping it's like White Shadow Sting, and then it would be like Shadow Light or like Black Light Rogue, where it's like one of them has that and then the other is just a reversal of it, but it's essentially the same thing, just naming. I'd be fine if they're both White Shadow Dragon, but at the same time I kind of want Rogues to be the opposite. Instead of it being a White Shadow, be like a Black Light. I think that'd be really sick. Urza and Jalal, because real quick, because when you think about it, when he says White Shadow, it's a ultimately a white shadow, so it's ending in shadow. So he's using in the idea, he's got Sting's or Rogue's magic, whereas if Rogue's is reversed, a black light, obviously it's still a light. It's just a variation of a light, and you can have that to be his thing while it being obviously tied to like the way that it's named. It would go towards it would go towards Sting. I just think that would be really cool. Either way, like, I'm just hoping that if we see them again in this arc, rather, not just like literally if they ever show back on panel, if they show up in any of these arcs, if Mishima is going to do anything with that, because I don't think it would really make sense if they got out of Alvarez and didn't go and work on this form. Just based off of who they are, what we know they're like, and like how they fight. Like, they primarily fight together. Like, Sting and Rogue actually canonically fight better as a duo. They're not as powerful when they're separated. And it's obviously not just, oh yeah, two people is better than one. Like, they individually are more powerful when they're around each other. Like, that was shown in their spinoff. But I don't know. We'll see entirely on that. Like, that's still like a question mark in just just general. Not gonna lie, I lied from Sting Rogue. I feel stronger just knowing that you're close. Yeah, he felt hella gay. I mean, no, they're buddies. Like, they're a tag team. They're a fighting duo. Of course, he's gonna have some nice camaraderie lines like that. There's nothing gay about it. Urza and Jalal Kid magic. Oh, do some like Star Swordsman, some like Space Blade kind of character. Give him like a lightsaber. Lucy is the same team member. Wendy's pretty sane. I think Urza will have to want to develop her sword technique if she wants to fight Suzaku. She might. Like, Urza has her own skills and abilities with her, with her style of fighting and her magic. But like what he just did, I don't really know if she's gonna be able to replicate that. At least the current Urza. Like, it's a, you know, it's a bit of a question mark, but we'll see. Like, Suzaku definitely gives off some big flex. It's funny, it'd be funny if Ferris and Toga just casually pull up with Suzaku while going to meet back with Nuts in the gang. They're probably gonna, I feel like they're gonna want to brawl, like, immediately. Like, immediately, I think they're gonna want to fight. Hang on a second. Let me scroll up. Bolin. Yeah, I did like Bolin. I think Ziggy's gonna give Sure the God turn true. I hope not. I hope he doesn't get killed. I really don't want him to get killed. At least not in the first confrontation. It's true Natsu is dumb. Natsu's not that dumb. Natsu's like the same intelligence level as Naruto, where he's like not the smartest, but he's not like brain dead. He's not like Goku and Luffy. Or Gazan. Oh, is that the guy's name? Do you think Noelle will be able to close the gap with Monica with Ultimate Magic? I think she'll be able to. I think she's gonna be able to keep up with her and fight. I don't think it's just gonna be like she can outclap her. Wait, what? And they tried to kill each other? Wait, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the yokai? Red Lotus exists for no reason. The Avatar can never be evil thanks to Rava, so it's the point Red Lotus wanting to protect the world from the Avatar. I really wish the Dark Avatar was a thing. I really wish that plotline went somewhere. So I really liked the idea of it when it initially came out, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense, because the whole thing about the Avatar and stuff is about balance. So obviously, if you're going to have a good Avatar always, you should also have a bad Avatar, and that would also balance out the character. Because the thing about Avatar that I've never been a fan of is just like how the second the Avatar goes in the Avatar state, there's not really anybody that can just fight him. There's nobody really above them at that point. They had to give the one chick a slow ass mech just to kind of like do any form of threatening kind of capabilities, because they not even wasted. They gave all the previous villains cooler stuff. But I don't know. It's something that could have been. It could have been so cool if there was always a Dark Avatar. So it'd be like so even if it's not like the Fire Nation, we had to defeat the Fire Nation and stuff. Like, imagine if it's like, oh, the Avatars are in existence now, and then it's like so they're like, we have to get the Avatar strong enough so if the Dark Avatar rises to power, there'll be somebody to fight him. That would have been so cool. But they decided to fumble on that and just have it amount to nothing. Now she had dragon power, magic power. It would be celestial dragon. So, yeah, I think it'd actually be really cool if like she had some form of like if there was more Zodiacs, but maybe the Chinese Zodiac, but maybe that's her and she has like the Chinese dragon style, like that Western dragon. I don't really know. Shiggy the 15-year-old had no problem killing a League of the Frog dude. Oh, he was gonna beat him to death, but like that was far in past reasoning. Like, that wasn't, oh, I had beef with this guy. That was, this guy is a scumbag, and he's done stuff to get you personally upset. This isn't like he was just a bad guy out in the middle of space being a bad guy. Like, he definitely had Shiki's rage before he even set eyes on him. Like, obviously kidnapping Rebecca and like everything that was connected to it. He's gonna be pretty pissed off. No way he was just gonna be like, well, you know, maybe he'll say sorry or whatever. It's like, no, this guy's an asshole. Get rid of him. You know, we need to have this guy not around here anymore. He's been breathing too long. Let's see. Do you think the next Machinist crossovers? Wait, what? The next one? I don't really know. I think the next thing he'll generally do is probably start like having more of like a crossover storyline, because with Heroes, it like the story aspect, it was an interesting story, but it wasn't like there was a large scale plot for the most part. Like, it was, you know, one bad guy, he's doing one thing, and it tied into like the plot of how these worlds came to be connected. But it wasn't like there was like a large scale story in the works. But I feel like if he does more, like he wants to know there are a couple volumes of Heroes, he's gonna have to, you know, develop some form of bad guys, and hopefully give us a reason as to why these eye-marked people like Jalal and Justice and Zeke are all relevant. Like, what makes them so special? You think we get a pretty good ending for 100 Years Quest? Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. Like, the thing is, before we get near the end of the 100 Years Quest, this Mishima needs to decide whether or not if this is going to be the end, or if there's going to be anything beyond this. Like, I know he said he was open for, like, a Next Generations thing. But, like, if he wants to do another series, then I would hope he would end it in a way that opens up to it. And then, like, just doesn't leave it as a big question mark. And then who knows when a continuation would come out. Or if he wants to end it, it just has to give, like, a nice ending. It doesn't have to give, like, some perfect 10 out of 10 ending. We could just have, like, a nice, comfortable wrap-up chapter where it's, like, shows the characters what they've been up to. Like, oh, it's been 5-10 years since the 100 Years Quest. And, you know, you see, like, oh, these characters got married. These characters are doing this thing. The guild's doing good. Nothing that would be, like, absurd. It doesn't have to be, like, some crazy frickin' 40 chess move of manga chaptering, but it would just have to be nice, like a solid wrap up. Those are usually what I ask for whenever, like, a series starts getting to that edge, like when it starts getting further down its line. And I wasn't a huge fan on the on what at the time was the ending to Fairy Tail, so I was very happy that we got 100 Years Quest, because I did not really like when it was just like, yeah, we go on a quest, and then, like, we never gonna give information on it. And, like, there was a bunch of stuff in there that was just like, but why, though? Can we please get this other stuff that's going on? Can we please get, like, these other characters and what they're up to? But yeah, that'll get 100 Years Quest, so I'm pretty happy about it. Can't wait to see the Eden Zero Fairy Tail OVA for the Eden Zero anime. You think it'll be in the anime for, like, heroes? I think Holy's Ether Gear is plant-related because of the... We saw a plant behind her. That might just be a plant in the room, dude. Are you a member of Gabby Nation? No, I am not. I don't like Gabby. Chivaldo Anderson, what's going on, man? Curious to see Eraser's Ether Girl be... I'm hoping it's like a spatial ability or something. Actually, she's got the name Eraser. It's got to have... Well, it might have to do with her name, like, whatever her backstory is, rather than her power. Because I guess, like, I don't expect Jaguar to have, like, a Jaguar Ether Gear. And Justice's Ether Gear doesn't have anything to do with Justice. It's more of, like, his outlook and everything. Because I guess they are code names at the end of the day. So it'll probably have something to do with, like, her backstory. Or, you know, something to do with, like, just how she is as a person. Maybe she's secretly really crazy or something. I don't know. Let's see. This is the thing. Wait, let's talk about that. The Asta and Yami versus Dante fight. I don't remember I talked about that, but after reading Zero Ace chapter, I'm starting to believe Ziggy didn't bring the 4 shining stars with him to find Mother. That just me. I mean, they had to have been there, but, like, there's something in there that, like, they clearly, like, he clearly had to erase for, like, important story reasons. Maybe, like, information of where she is, or where, like, something he said is. Who knows? This is Suzaku one-shot Celine. There's no way he's gonna one-shot Celine. That would be absurd. He would have to be on level, if not higher, than, like, the version of Natsu that fought Mer's Phobia. And that's absolutely not the case. That'd be, like I said, that'd be absurd. That'd be such a ridiculous jump in power. Like, because Celine is not weak. Celine is also not even just hacks. Like I said, she caught Natsu's attack with her bare hand and was just like, nope, you're not attacking me today. And then just like, all right, I'm going to play with you guys. Like, she took that so casually with, like, so little of care into what they were, like, going to do in response, and just set up the rest of the arc. Like, she's too strong. She's extremely powerful. There's no way that they could just kind of, like, shrug her off. Not gonna happen. Like, she's too powerful. Too damn powerful, that Celine. And I'm very happy about it. I've been very, very, very happy, as I've expressed, with how like, active Celine's been. Actually, not anything, but we didn't have Celine in this arc. Or in this chapter. Upsetting. She got name dropped, but we didn't get to see her. I gotta wait another 2 weeks before I get to see her again. Even with training, you think Shiki will be weaker than Shirt? Yes. I think he'll be fairly weaker, but not like... I don't think that, like, if he fought Shura right now, it'd be a no-diff, because then it'd be like, well, then he's got to train again. I don't think that's going to be the case. My guess is he's... Like, Shura will probably be, like, a third stronger than him. Whatever Shiki's stats are, give Shura 1/3 of that. In total, not, like, each. Well, I guess that would still be 1/3, right? This is getting a good yawn. Do I think Dante Scars made permanent? I assume it's permanent. Originally nominate Cecil anime stuff. Do they? I actually don't know, because like the only one that I can think of that otherwise was weekly was One Piece, and I don't know if One Piece was in anything, at least in the last one. They're very clearly biased though. It's ridiculous. There's no reason to not nominate freaking weekly stuff. They're silly. Mike is neither pulling meteor out of space or opening a wormhole in the sky to shoot down a meteor storm. Which one would you rather? I just assume like a normal. Well, it depends. Are they doing Grand Chain, or I guess if they're pulling a meteor down, they're doing Sema. But like otherwise, I would just assume that similar to Sema, you're just pulling the meteor in. Oh, wait, Rax, do you think Shiki, Black Sky? Oh, what Black Sky will be? I think Black Sky is going to be way crazier than that. In my head, I just imagine, like, Shiki making a black hole and, like, spreading it so it's like a blanket and goes over the sky and it just sucks everything up from the ground into it. I don't know. It would have to be really big because, like, the thing is, it's not a big move for Shiki when I hype it up. It's the ultimate technique from Xenolith, so it has to be a big deal. Like, if it's just raw powerful, really cool, or if it's hacks, who knows. Like, there's definitely going to be something about it that just, in general, makes it go, oh, wow, shit, that's why that's so powerful. That's why this thing is apparently as ridiculous as it's supposed to be. But, I don't know. Like, that is clearly, like, a bigger question mark. It's going to be a while, I would assume, until we see this move in action. Like, I don't really expect... I don't expect Mishima to give us that anytime soon. If we're lucky, he'll use it against Shura. But other than that, like, I don't really know. Shouldn't Gildarts have hit Prime already, or has he gotten stronger? I assume Gildarts is in his prime. I'm guessing it's now, whenever he was in Alvarez, because he clearly was more powerful than what he was on Sirius Island. Let's see. Will Rill get any significant moments this arc and crawl from mediocrity? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping Rill does something. The thing is, like, Rill is just in such a bad situation. He's around people and characters that are just too much for him. He should be like Rill right now. Like, if I got to just move Rill somewhere, I'd put him against that, you know, that one shining general that's like been extra hidden in mystery and quieted, you know, that's been in the center and always kept slightly out of enough light that we don't see his face. Like, if we got that and it's just like, oh, this is like one of the shining generals that's actually pretty strong, and Rill got to have a good showing against him, I'd be pretty happy. But like, I just don't see Rill. I don't see Rill really doing much against like these devils. Like, some of these are just too strong for him. Other than that, like his best bet is similar to when Charlotte used the terrain that he made in his painting magic to boost up her own spell. Because remember when he made all that like thick, muddy ground and just earth, it made her plants grow better. Like, her briars were able to grow better and more powerful. And that is, it's a little bit weird because obviously like Rill's biggest thing right now is being a support wizard. But it's like, that is a really useful support. Like, if you're just able to pretty much set up your ally to get a much better environment for whatever their thing is, that's a good ability. That's a good ability to have. It'd be like if suddenly, like, frickin' Natsu was hanging out a dude who just turns the entire zone that they're fighting in into just, like, gasoline or frickin' flash cotton or just paper. And it's just, alright, time to burn shit. Fucked what Earth I'd be if Natsu and Acnologian insane and Lucy was dead. Wait, what? Oh, if Natsu and Acnologian insane and Lucy was dead? Well, I think that Natsu is linked to her, so he can't... If my guess is correct, if she dies, then he dies. Eventually, Rule will be a top-tier captain, but right now he's trash. I mean, Rule just needs to... He just needs to get into a spot where he actually can do something. The problem is right now he's just around people that are too big for him. I agree. Eventually, Rule. Oh, I read that. If Fairy Tale's Hades and Eden Zero has Poseidon, maybe Newer's next work will have Zeus. I don't know, but maybe not Zeus. So I would definitely pick like. Well, I guess yeah. I was gonna say, like, as I was thinking you were saying the gods, but Hades and Poseidon obviously are brothers, so like the next step would be Zeus. That would be really cool though. Add some Zeus character, just pull up some sick lightning guy, and he has said that he has an idea for what he wants to do after Eden Zero, so maybe that'll be it. What if Ainz from Over the Woods and Fairy Tale Black Clover due to 2 OP Isekai protagonist? I don't really know what he would be up to. I don't know what his plans are. Rax, did you consider Rhymes from Mashal a swordsman? He's the dude who makes who summons magic swords. I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure that he uses some technique with them. It's been a while since I've read the chapters when we first saw him, but I guess it would really just depend on how he utilizes them. Like least impressive Black Bull, he should be called Black Calf. That's not nice. I like Magna. Who fucked Wendy? Wait, what? Who fucked Wendy? Oh, nobody. Nobody's out here fucking Wendy. Wendy's too young. Be nice. Protect the lowly. Sorry, Rax. I didn't mean I killed him. Ziggy was one-shotting Shure in general. I don't think he'll one-shot, but I think he's gonna put Shure in the dirt if Shure tries to fight him. Nobin foreshadowing a sea goddess, so he's getting god power of the Sark. I mean, we'll see, I guess. Do you think the Fairy Tale cover page was alluding something significant happened with Urza? I just assumed that was just an Urza, out shopping panel. The weird sword, I actually kind of hope that we're going to see her have that in a scene. I think it'd be really cool if, like, maybe in a couple chapters she just pulls that out. It doesn't even have to be, like, some big significant, like, weapon, but it's just to see her have it, and it's like, oh, look, it's that weapon from that cover page. I'd be pretty hyped about that. Just seeing her hold it. Plus, it's a really weird-looking weapon, but I imagine, like, with how weird it is, it'd probably be really annoying just to draw consistently. It's just one of those ones I assume it's like, oh, the first time we're getting it out there, just draw it. Like, we don't have to see it in other angles. We're not going to have to get the pretty much, like I said, replicate it in a different scenario, essentially. You're not going to have that. You're not going to run into that problem at all if it's just the cover page. And it's weird looking, but I like that. So when an avatar, so what, an avatar, that's like a Sith? I mean, just like a dark version. Oh, so I got clapped at the moment, and what avatar state. I know, that's one of the things I'm not a huge fan of, though, is, like, there's no character in Avatar that can really do anything the second the Avatar goes Avatar state. Like, I wish that there were, like, maybe some form of rare benders that were, like, maybe just so... It's like, imagine, like, how strong they were, like, the firebenders were with Sozin's Comet. Like, what if there's some form of really rare bender, or some form of evolved, progressed bender, where it's like, oh, they're somehow more, maybe like they're half spirit or something, and they're just way more advanced in their one type of bending. Like you get a super firebender, or a super waterbender, or anything like that, and it's just like so much, it just has so much more general threat value than, obviously your average one, and it's enough that they can contend with the Avatar. Because, like, the Avatar's really powerful, but, like, the 4 elements may say up against, like, one that's just overwhelmingly more powerful, but it's, like, obviously they have 4 and variations of them as well. Then it would be like, oh, okay, well, let's see how they perform. But you don't really have anything like that, and I just have never been a huge fan on the fact that, like, the Avatar is just without real rival the moment they achieve Avatar state. And even for the most part, most people can't even mess with, like, the Avatar in general. Like, not even counting, like, getting other bending styles, not even counting the Avatar state. Like, because they have that natural level of talent. Obviously, they've lived multiple lives and all that. But it's like, most people can't live up to that. Most people are going to get styled on. Like, if you even go back and look at Kid Aang, like, way early in the story, your average just random bender, he could freaking bend circles around, like, completely no diff them and treat them like they're nothing. Like, he's way better than them, because obviously, like, he's got just that latent memory and past live stuff going on in the back of his head. Rax, I know Samurai 8 is over, but why didn't you review on it? It was given off some means. I reviewed it a little bit. I didn't do too much of it, but I still did some of it. I don't know. The problem with Samurai 8 to me Not even talking about, like, I wasn't one of those guys who just thought, oh, it was just bad because it was odd or anything like that. It was too slow at the start, and then it became too fast. It wasn't like a consistent pacing of like, okay, we're gonna have an info chapter, and then we're gonna have maybe some cooldown chapters, have some action stuff. It was just like the first 15 to 16 chapters felt so long, and then after that, it was just like every chapter you got so much information that it was, you know, it was a little bit hard to keep up with sometimes, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. Favorite Mega Evolution? I really like, was it Bayonet? I always forget how to pronounce that Pokemon's name. Bayonet or whatever? The evolution of Shuppet. Like, I really like that Pokemon's evolution, the Mega version, where it's got, like, all the zippers opening up. I always thought that one was really cool. I don't know who, Mega Lucario? Oh, Mega Lucario is pretty cool. I want to see Starfire Satsuki fight Suzaku. That's not going to happen. It's a one-shot character. What? Jacob Ogbara. I don't really know how these are comparable. Like, Naruto Shippuden and 100 Years Quest aren't even really comparable at all, because Shippuden is... Like, Naruto Shippuden is essentially the same thing. The thing is, they added the Shippuden in there, in the anime for who knows what reasons. Whereas in the manga, it's just Naruto. It's just going to another part of Naruto. Whereas 100 Years Quest is a full cut, like, it's not a, I wouldn't say a full cutoff. It is a continuation to the point of obviously being a different magazine, and it's got enough different that it's a slight variation, but where it's like all it literally is in Naruto Shippuden is that anime decided to slap the word Shippuden on there. Like, it's just called Naruto. But I wouldn't really say that, like, that 100 Years Quest and Shippuden are even remotely comparable. That'd be closer to, like, if you said, like, after the Grand Mansion Games or something. But the Next Generation thing, I mean, that I can guarantee you, Mishima does Next Generation. It's not going to be nearly as negatively received at the start. Like, watch Natsu be like a logical good dad to his kid, and like just have a much better starting tone. Just saw Zera versus Black Clover's debate start with the one downhill when he said Dorothy's universal. Those are such silly comments. Like, the ones that were worse than that is after that, when he was trying to say that like he was trying to say that because Dorothy lost to Magna and Luck, that means that Magna and Luck scale up to Universal. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any logical sense in verse at all. Magna and Luck, especially Magna, like I said, like, I like Magna, but obviously Magna is not that powerful in comparison to any of these other bigger characters. No one might die if he doesn't. Let's see, him and Charlotte stop being Magic Knights together. Oh, you're talking about Yami? Gabby is the best Attack on Titan girl. She's another. Gabby was definitely problematic. My favorite, if I had to pick a favorite girl on Attack on Titan, I mean, I like Sasha, but obviously, like, she was more for being funny. God, like, Attack on Titan does not have a lot of side characters I like. I think it's part of the problem with it even answering this. It's like the only other one I can think of was she's more of like a meme. I don't think I have an answer. Are you still watching Ruby? I haven't watched the newest volume. I'll probably watch the newest volume at some point before the next volume, but I'm not watching it as it's coming out. I'll wait until it's over and then just watch all the episodes straight through at some point. I just don't have hype anymore for it. It bums me out a little bit. Like, I don't like not getting hype for stuff that I used to get hype for, but it's like I can only have them upset me so much. And it's not like a hiccup in, like, something in the story that I didn't like. It's like these guys in general, like the people that took over. Like, I don't like their writing style. They seem really rude in general. They absolutely come off as, like, those content creators so that will be extremely disrespectful to their customers and stuff. And I can guarantee you, just based off of some of the other stuff I've seen with Rooster Teeth, is they're probably one of those aggressive political people, too. What? Also, Eden Space Journey. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Do you think Carrot will defeat Pearl Sparrow? If the moon clears up and she gets her Sulong form back, Otherwise, like, I don't really know what she's gonna do. That's the upsetting thing, actually, for me, is I wanted her to do better. I like Carrot. I think Mother used to be a planet. Shiki is not Mother's son, but Mother reincarnation. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Like the whole Mother, or I think Shiki being a planet, it makes more sense. But like Mother, I think Mother definitely was not giant space cosmic lady at some point. I definitely think that she had something along those lines had to turn her into that. I think it's meant when the very beginning when they said that there was no sense of time or something across those lines. Probably has to do with the fact that you have Rebecca with time travel powers and the chronophage going around doing time travel stuff. Let's see. Because when you think about it, like, there's no reason really to have a time, like, to keep track of time, if, like, a planet can randomly be attacked by a chronophage and, like, their time is reversed. To where it's, like, wherever Draken Joe is gets time reversed and like, he gets brought back as, like, the younger kid version of Draken Joe. Or time really just comes down to, like, how the individual is perceiving it rather than, like, time at a large scale. It's kind of weird, but, like, obviously that's just what Mishima has set up here. Let's see. I want to get caught up. Do you see Luffy overcoming both Kaido and Big Mom? Because right now, you know, there's a rooftop are screwed. Yeah, I think they'll do fine. I don't have a lot of hype for Big Mom. I'm hoping Kaido can really perform, though. Who do you think will finish off Yoko? I think the cast will be fine against Yoko. They're probably gonna dogpile her. Like, I can see her getting in some good attacks and doing something decently well, but I don't really see her. I just don't really see her doing that well against them. There's too many of them. Watch the Last Dragon. The Gold Dragon was a dragon. Wait, a dragon slayer and then became a dragon? I'm hoping not. I want them all to be pure dragons. I like that all of them are these pure dragons at some point. That at some point ran away from Acnologia. You see my friends trying to say that Todoroki can beat Zuko? Wait, what? Let me read that again. I mean, Zuko can't really do anything. Well, he's got lightning, but, like, that's the only thing he really can do to Todoroki. Todoroki has the advantage of, like, having general, like, enhanced stats. Whereas, like, for the most part, people in My Hero are pretty human-like in terms of their stats. Like, you know, you're not going to get a lot of characters that get, like, flung through a building and then get up with no broken bones. They don't have that kind of, like, outright just enhanced durability. I do think that Todoroki should do fine against Zuko. Because he's got AoE, too. He's got AoE for days. He can just literally just mass freeze the whole area or mass burn the whole area. Let's see. Which manga is on screen? That's Suzaku from Fairy Tail. Igneo will be the last dragon. Wait. Igneo will be the last dragon. The gold dragon will be next. I assume so. I assume Igneo won't be, you know, he's not going to be finished off before the end of things. He's clearly got the most story relevancy. Who did Wendy marry in Fairy Tail? Nobody. Who do you think disrespected Jogo more, Gojo or Sukuna? Oh, definitely Satoru. Like, he told him he was weak. Maybe one will meet someone from Diablos guilds around her age. That would be neat. I'd actually be really surprised if one of them in Diablos is really young. If they have some evil little Shota. Some, like, 15, 16-year-old boy who's just mean as hell. Maybe... Oh, wait, I read this one. Rex, we know that Homura let Kurenai go. Shiki and Wise would have killed her. I kind of hope they did, but, like, she's good. Rebecca would have done to Madame Kurenai. Probably just told her that she was an outright piece of shit. Like, I don't think Rebecca would kill her. I think Rebecca would be the most, like, ruthless and just verbally talking to her. Like, only shit from Winnie and Shelley? No, they're just friends. They're just friends. People are getting strange over here with some Winnie ship. Imagine Luck being there, being Thor plus new demon form power, or demon power form. That's not it's not a demon power. Even like what is it? Then they say lightning god in the name. That'd be really cool if it's like it turns out luck was some form of like. Actually, I was gonna say some form of demon, but I'm like, we already got demon stuff. We don't need another one. If it was prior to this arc, then sure. But like, I don't know if I would want anything like that now, to be perfectly honest. Well, do I do any videos for Mashal? Maybe. Like, that's kind of like an thing for... Not like an but it's like, it's so on the table. But at the same time, I'm not really sure. Because Mashal has that, like, that degree of being kind of parody-like that One Punch Man had. But there's more, I think, to the story with Mashal. At least that I would guess with One Punch Man. But when it comes down to like the series, is like I don't know if there's enough for me to want to review it without like treating it almost like a parody, almost a little bit gaggish. I don't think so, but at the same time, I'm kind of fine with other people doing that as well. Because like I don't want to do all the series. Like I already do more than I would like to. Like I think now is actually like a pretty solid amount that I have, but I don't want to expand anymore because I would like to do more on the content that I already have. But I'd already do a good amount of series, and like as far as I would like to say, like I just where I'm at now is pretty much good on that front. Like even if say like Build King got axed, I don't think I would want to replace it with something else. I think I would just kind of keep it with the ones I already do. And then maybe at some point, if I feel like it, cycles something in, brings something in. Because I like Yozakura family, I like that as well, but I don't really want to review. It's like the same thing as Mashal. I just don't really know if I want to review it. I definitely still read them. I still like them, though, so that's obviously a big plus. Should she have the ability to make wormholes? I'm actually hoping for wormholes more than black holes, because I think it would be cooler with his style of fighting, just the general way he moves. But we'll see. Rex, would you say the difference between Ziggy and Acnologia? I mean, Ziggy's like a guy with a plan. Acnologia's just out there. He's out there just trying to freaking squash and destroy it and cause like havoc and destruction. Like he's supposed to be a guy who became the ultimate version of what he hated, whereas Ziggy is like a space conqueror dude. How old are the members? Wait, how old are the members in Team Natsu? I mean, most of them should be in their early 20s, and then Wendy should be around 15, like 14 to 15. Because like gauging time periods is a little bit difficult with them because some characters don't experience time gaps, and then a lot of the time we don't get a stated amount of time passing. Like we have like the for sure ones. We have the year after Tartarus. We have the year after Alvarez. We have the 3 months for some characters after the point of Fairy Tail members coming back and then opening up for the Grand Magic Games. You have the 6 months from Lucy joining the guild up until the events on Sirius Island. There's definitely some stuff in there, but it's not easy to kind of just like, oh well, okay, here a month passed, here another month passed, here 6 months passed. It's because of like the odd time travel stuff that some characters just are gonna experience, and then it's freaking Celestial Spirit Realm and stuff. But like some characters are gonna experience time differently, and some aren't even gonna go through certain time skips. Least favorite book in Legend of Korra? Probably book 2. I really didn't like what they did to. Well, yeah, actually probably book 4 to be perfectly honest. As like. With two, I think 2 was funnier, and at least like the book 2 of Legend of Korra at least had like solid jokes. Like the jokes were still on point, and it had the stuff with Avatar 1. And then like with book 4, they screwed Mako over, so he was like barely relevant of a character. Like Korra is just abandoning her duties. The last villain is so forgettable. Like Kuvira should have been like season 2 villain. Clover should have been like season 2, like in book 2. You have just a big slow mech. Like how did they switch what should be the last boss, a dark avatar, versus a chick and a big robot? I don't know. I think if they reversed them, the series would probably have played out a little bit better. But Kuvira to me feels like she feels like an anime original boss. She's like frickin' Daphne. Let's see. It's called Avatar for a reason. What do you mean? But if they set up a dark avatar, then they should have went with it. Plus, it goes into the whole thing about balance. You have to have an equal amount of good and an equal amount of bad. If you have something way more than the other, then they're not in balance. So, like, a dark avatar made perfect story sense. Morris' mom should have died. Oh, she's getting tortured and stuff right now, so we good. I wish Shuckle had a mega evolution. That would have been sick. I wish they did something with Shuckle, gave him an evolution in general. Then gets trapped by a really good metal bender. He can't really do anything since Korra was the first avatar. Wait, do anything? Oh, yeah, Korra just gets metal bending. She just figures it out after like 10 minutes of practice. Another thing, I'm just like, ugh. And not a fan of Korra. Anything about her, for the most part, I'm just not a fan of. I was not a fan of how she was handled. Base reveal? No, I don't know about that. Mega Sceptile? Man, Mega Sceptile is really cool. Steel Bug? Oh, for a Shuckle? That would have been cool. Steel Bug. When he's 15, Gabby's trash. Agree. Story best girl. Rax is dating Universal Dorothy. That's because Dorothy is not universal. Wait, Lucy is 19, not 18. Yeah, Lucy should be around somewhere between, like, 19 to 20. Maybe a little bit more. 20 and a half or something. Mikasa's my waifu. Mikasa is, she's a character. I'm not a fan of Mikasa, personally. I've never been, like, a huge Mikasa individual. Never been a fan of her. I don't know. She's got, like, she's going to be kind of cool, but at the same time, she's so emotionally dead that I just have never been too keen on her. She's always had that, like, barely a facial expression. She just doesn't want to be there. Like, she's ready to talk to your manager and try and figure out what she has to do to get you in trouble at work. Because you decided that you were going to take your tone up a little bit more than her, to converse with her. I don't know. She just looks grumpy. Oh, you're talking about some of the fights. Yeah, Javaldo, the one that for me I really want to see is just whoever fights Callum. Like, having an atomic power is just cool in general. I think Alderaan is still alive. There's the possibility, like, I'm fine with either him being alive or him being dead, just because, like, if he's alive, I want to see him do stuff. I like Alderaan. I thought he was cool, but, like, I wasn't too attached to him, because obviously we didn't get, like, much into, like, his backstory or anything. We got mostly just, like, the totality of his character and how he acts and behaves. But I'm perfectly fine if he's just dead and Natsu killed his ass, but we'll see. Rooster Teeth sucks, especially Crow's voice actor. Yeah, I was really bummed about that. And like after they got rid of him, they just started treating Crow poorly. Like, it's like they just wanted to get rid of his character, which sucked because Crow was my favorite in the series. And they already did dirty with like another of my favorites with Adam, and they just had him lose to two people who were fodder to him not too long ago that didn't even spend the time training. Wait, what? I was thinking if wait, what is this? Hang on. One of my cats literally just walked right up as I was reading that and got right in the way of the screen. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wait, what? Was it stated the Dragons need to be sealed? Or why the Dragons need to be sealed? They just have to be taken care of in some way or another. Because, like, Alderaan was killed. Alderaan's just dead. Where's that post, though? There's so many things. Wait, I was thinking of something. No one died in the final season for Aetzel Guild because Sinner Island was a part of the content. Oh, no, because Mavis is dead. Mavis died. Makarov was dead, but Makarov got brought back because of like something that Mavis and Zareth did. So they definitely can die. I'm hoping Fortnite's Apocalypse drops tonight. I do too. I like to read the chapter. I think the Heavenly Knights lore will play a big part of the series, probably after like another Galactica, maybe like after another Galactica, or maybe like a big battle with the Federation and stuff. Wait, no. Does anyone know? Wait, I don't know if someone asked her. Does anyone know the reward for 100 Years Quest? Oh, Elo Sirius said he'd grant them a wish. Yeah, he said he would grant them any wish that they wanted, which I don't know if it's literally like a genie wish or he would just, you know, go out of his way to perform it. But I also think that Elo Siri is super suspect. I think he's super sus, which Which future Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist has the potential to reach a 10 level? None of them. He's the top. I wonder what Gildart's wish was. Something with chicks. I think Rebecca's a cat-like alien from a different planet. You know, I've never thought about her being an alien. I actually would kind of like that. I actually think that would be kind of cool if she was some form of alien species. I would theory Shiki's from the future, the grandson of Ziggy. I've thought of like the Shiki from the future thing too, but it was like maybe he becomes Ziggy or something. I think Rebecca. Wait, I read this. Let's see. What's the second best waifu in Fairy Tail? Wait, what? Oh, Wendy's the second best waifu? I always like Wendy, but you can't. You shouldn't loot the loli there, Hendrickson. Don't do it. It's illegal. Is there a time it Lux's new form? I assume so. It probably runs on his mana, so it's like he could just burn through his mana supply until he gets it. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down through some of these. Let me make a mini manga for the most hyped Fairy Tail wedding. What? Oh, that would be like, that'd be like somewhere in the in just like our extra volume page. Can we talk about Ziggy's neck? Ziggy's neck game is on point. Ziggy's neck game? What do you mean by that? Are you surprised Black Clover 167 didn't play opening 1? I'd actually never thought about it when I was watching the episode. I was just really happy they did the whole silence when Yami threw her sword over. I was super hyped about that. Acting Eden Zero will go into a time skip after the open side and error arc. I'd like that, actually, to be perfectly honest. I'd like a little time skip. It doesn't have to be like a year or two, but if we can get like a couple months. Judahart feels a better father than Gildarts. Well, Gildarts didn't know is the thing. That's a completely different scenario. Gildarts did not know at all. Anyway, let's wait. Yeah, I know about like where the avatars sit. That's not have anything to do with where I was going with it though. I don't like the fact that you could just have a character, like especially the main character. The second he achieves his power, there shouldn't really be any threats to him anymore. Like you can't just have a character generally be on par or any way to really fight the avatar once they get to that state, because it's just like bending. Good luck trying to match them in bending. Most of their technology isn't very good. They have speed on top of everything else enhanced, and then it really just comes to how crazy the avatars can use it. Because like if Zahir can rip the air out of somebody's lungs, it wouldn't surprise me if they can, like, you know, if the avatar could do the same thing, or maybe mess with the metal in your body or something. Yeah, with Legend of Korra really dropped the ball on a lot of side characters. That was definitely one of the bigger things that was unfortunate, because you didn't have that problem at all in the original Avatar. Like the biggest problems is like Katara's bloodbending plotline went nowhere. She got it, like she's very upset she had to use it in order to save Aang and Sokka, but it had like no follow up to it at all. There was no like follow up to her being a bloodbender now. And then Ozai was like a lame final villain. He was not a very interesting end opponent for their series, because he was just like, I'm a big scary bad guy. But it's like the same thing of like when I mentioned about the Avatar just being unfair. It's like the second Aang went to Avatar State, he was putting Ozai in the dirt. Like he was absolutely destroying him. Need to figure out my Mashal cosplay for Chapter 100 review. Dress up as just don't even have to have a cosplay. Just have a bunch of cream puffs. Go to your local bakery, buy a dozen cream puffs, and just eat them throughout the recording. Do a stream where it's like at once a page. Actually, that's what you need to do. Have a get enough cream puffs so you can eat one per page. I'll work for my friends that admit along the way. It's not so bad though. Especially like if you went on like a crazy adventure, like you would be perfectly happy with, you know, with whatever buddies you make along the way, because they're gonna be colorful individuals themselves.
think he's not, wait, let's see. Oh, just the size of his neck? Yeah, he was looking thick with his new upgrade. There's a lot of anime I need to catch up on. Boruto being one. Kenichi, definitely read the manga for that. Also read Build King. Avatar State is like Natsu when the theme song starts playing the speech about the Gilligan family. No, so there's... Well, for one, no, the frickin'... You have Ignia literally just not that long ago told Natsu to kill all of his friends and, like, he just catches his punch. The thing is, it's like, the Avatar State is just so high above everyone else. It's not very fair. And, like, obviously, like, he's the main character. Like, well, whoever is the Avatar is the main character and stuff. But it's like, there's no real threat level the second the Avatar masters that. And unlike original Avatar, where Aang didn't master the, like, going to the Avatar State until, like, the very end. See, obviously, he had the opportunity to be able to use it at will. Didn't. And then, you know, everybody who's watched the show knows how it goes. But he didn't have the ability to just pop into it and out of it, like, immediately. Korra got it by the end of the first season, or in the first book. So it was just, like, things were too unfair for, like, opponents and stuff. She just got stuff way too quickly, I think, in general. She just got abilities way too fast, and I was not a fan of them. But, like, the fact there's no contender for the Avatar. There's no equal person. It's just like the second the Avatar shows up, then it's like, you guys better get the hell out of there, or like catch her off sleeping off guard, or you're not gonna do anything. Oh, Rogue Sword, yeah, Rogue Sword is never happening. Have they made any big references to Billy King's previous work in the current series? Yes, there's been Toriko references. I've been very happy about them. I think the 18 battle gods Yakumo were like Angstrom, Soul Serpent, and different deities. No, I think they're just 18 battle deities. Let's see. Rax, we talk about Ziggy. Oh, you already said the whole net game. Anyway, this stream has been going on a little longer than I intended. We're at like an hour and a half. I was gonna go for like an hour. I did initially intend to have a stream more than an hour because I was like, I wasn't even 100% if I was gonna do the stream. It was just gonna be if we ended up getting the Suzaku in the chapter. We got Suzaku, so I was like, I'm gonna do an extra stream. We're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna build some hype and have some fun, just chit chatting. Anyway, other than that though, comment below. Tell me your guys' thoughts about just, you know, general stuff. But also, yeah, read Build King, catch up with 100 Years Quest, Eden Zero, frickin' Four Nights the Apocalypse, essentially anything that I reviewed. Check those out. But also, Record of Ragnarok, Mashal, Yozakura Family. What's it? I always forget to say it. Mission Yozakura Family. I think those are the only ones I'm pushing.